you excited about that Wanted movie that's coming out based on that?
Oh God, dude!
Oh,
I just
God.
heard about that, but
What?
Let's not talk about that anymore.
Why?
It's like
Because it's something Mark Miller's involved in.
Oh,
and
you
he
love
doesn't
him.
need any of our
Ryan gets so
support.
mad. Mark Millar, you got to pronounce his name right.
It's Miller.
Bitch. Nothing.
I have heard the
him
guy
so
pronounce
much.
it himself.
Really?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
so Mark Miller, is
Oh.
a comic writer, and he did the Ultimates, which called the Ultimates,
That was a
not
good series.
Ultimate
That's a good
Spider-Man or
series.
Ultimate X-Men. Or
Am I allowed to say that series was
I
cool?
thought
like
it
it.
was fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
the exception
like
to my
a-
superhero
that's
thing.
like a
was pretty good too.
So what's Ryan's problem? Hates him.
The dude's the biggest, self-congratulatory douchebag in the entire comics industry.
See, I don't know that side of him. I just know his comics.
That's the thing. Yeah, are you trying to be his friend, or are you trying to read his comic book? I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
Well, I just don't.
people say the same thing about Vincent Gallo. I love Buffalo 66, and he's an
yeah.
infamous piece of shit, right? But again, I'm not trying to kick it with the guy. I'm not trying to be his best friend. He
Well, you
made
know
a
what?
great movie.
There's
Maybe
comics
he writes good comic books. So
Mark
it's
Miller. Mark Miller wrote Superman: Red Sun, which is this Elseworld, alternate reality, what if Superman story. It's probably the best Superman story I've ever read.
Okay, look at that.
So
what
it's
happened?
I can't deny that.
He
That was
probably
a really
banned you
good
from
book.
his message board forum, dude.
He banned me from his message board forum because I was.
He
trying to
did,
get
dude.
banned.
Holy shit. That was a fucking wild
here we go.
guess, dude.
Oh, okay.
Break out the shrooms.
Hold on. Okay, since now you roped me into talking about Mark Miller, let me
Okay,
just
do it.
clarify my antagonistic relationship with this guy.
Okay.
My best friend owns a comic book store. He's on all the comic book message boards, yada yada yada, and he'll always like Mark Miller will always be getting on his boards and posting hey guys, blah blah, whatever thing he's into or wants to do or whatever stupid ass idea he's got, and my friend will show me these posts because he knows it pushes my buttons because I get so goddamn annoyed at this guy, and I'll I would inevitably always go in and just totally mock him to his face. And for a year,
To
this
his
continued.
face?
To his face.
His avatar is his face. What do you mean?
As much to his face as you can get on the internet, on his own message board,
None.
And after a year of this, they finally wised up and booted me out.
Just for
So?
stirring up the pot?
Yeah, because that's all I ever really did.
You're just a troll.
No, you.
Pretty much.
You're
But,
a troll.
But
You're a
I
comic-
hate the guy so much.
comic book form
Where did
troll.
this come from, though?
The other, okay, so
Why do you hate him though?
Hold on. Last week, this is a perfect example of what a jerk this guy is. Why I can't stand him. But
I'm with you, man. Fuck this guy.
There's a Superman movie sequel in the works.
What?
And
You mean to
yeah.
that failed piece of shit one
To
that came out?
Superman
Okay.
Returns.
Did that fail?
Yeah.
It did.
I mean,
I don't
it
think
wasn't.
it performed as expected.
I didn't see it.
I don't
It was
know.
dumb.
I don't know if it's considered a
It
failure.
had everything but a story. I mean, they had the right look for Superman, and
Right. It was kind of.
I mean, they had a bad Lois Lane, but it's just nothing really happened, and
Superman was kind of weird
was
stalker
creepy, yeah.
through the whole movie.
yeah,
But-
yeah.
movie is a sequel, and that's it.
But anyway, so it was announced that the writers who wrote who wrote Superman Returns aren't coming back to do the sequel, which maybe that's a good thing, whatever.
Right.
But then Mark Miller, he got wind of this and he started just going off about how oh my god, I want to write this movie. I was born to revamp Superman. That's why I was given typing fingers. And he starts going on this whole tirade about how he's gonna get in contact with DC and offer to do this movie for free and all this stuff and he has some kind of right to do it. It's just I hate this guy.
You feel it
He's
should have been
excited.
you. Is that the issue?
Well, no, it's just the way he goes about it. I'm the best person to do this.
But
My
what if he
ideas
is?
are.
What if his movie's really good?
Yeah.
And he does it
what
for
if he
free?
does have the
Past
ultimate
the savings.
Superman movie?
Well, they've already told him no, but
I think he did the best straightforward superhero story that Marvel's published in 20 years.
And that the Ultimates,
Yeah.
and that's a kind of a gateway comic because you turn that you had a lot of people who are reading it, and a lot of people.
Everyone, everyone you give that to who's got even a passing interest in it will totally like it. And the thing is it's so because it works on the level of the characters as people. I mean, you hear this all the time, but most of the time when I hear it cited, in the case of Spider-Man or X-Men, Fantastic Four, I mean, that was the premise of that. It is a family at the same time. But they just, it hasn't worked that way in so long. Instead, it's just this nonstop parade of just random villains and people in
Space nonsense.
dumbass,
Yeah.
Halloween spirit superstore outfits that, You know, so
Look,
many
it's
times I've said
Walgreens
that.
aisle. Walgreens Halloween aisle.
They gave me this thing where instead of having to stand on the street and the sandwich board that says Spirit Halloween, I just keep mentioning it on the podcast. Okay, so anyway, Ryan. Sorry.
What?
But you're mad. Well, Ryan, you're mad because he thought he could he thinks he can write a good script for a Superman movie.
I don't like him.
What a fucker.
I don't like him.
Piece of shit.
That dude has no humility. God damn it.
Okay.
That's why I
And
don't
now
like
you're
him.
banned from his site.
I've been banned from his site for a long time.
But so that's why you would never read his book, although you were trying to pass to me. Hold on, dude.
You know what? Hold
I'll
on.
let
Before you say
about-
this,
Okay.
like, I'll fully admit, like, I have the first volume of Ultimates sitting on my bookshelf on your recommendation that I haven't read yet, just because I'll get into comic book reading mode sometimes, and other times I won't. But I plan on reading that at some point. So
You'll just be gnashing your teeth. Oh, this is good, but fuck this guy.
that's kind of how I feel.
I'm fucking nervous of this guy. God damn. Great comic.
I've got pre-existing biases against certain writers because
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
they're big dicks.
Right,
Like
sure.
Harlan Ellison. I just know
Yep.
from everything I've heard
Yeah.
that he is just
Yeah.
an asshole. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to give him any money. I don't want to write his collection of his classic stories that I know will be great.
But Ryan hasn't read. You have that trade paperback, and you haven't read it. But in the meantime, you're trying to pass me this book called Booster Gold. Now wait a minute. Now it's my turn to say this.
Okay.
This I opened it up. I had heard of this guy before, but I hadn't really heard of him. So I look at this shit, and it's a football player. It's a fucking football player from the future who comes back in time to play football in the present, or to make bets on football or some shit. And he's wearing like a gold leotard, okay? And he's like, he's ripped in this like onesie unitard, sitting there in this page. I open it up, and he's playing Xbox, and he's holding the controller in this dumbass outfit, and there's like, and he's still posing like he's in the freaking like open, you know, like holding the controller like that. And then so I pointed out, and I'm like, look, there's a bunch of word bubbles on this page, like, but there's nothing, no human or computer or anything can produce to fill in these bubbles to make this page, to salvage this page. Like, there's nothing you could do to fix the shit that I'm looking at. And then you gave me that, dude. And every page you flip through, it looks like that shit. He's just posing, man. It's just like Wank Squad, you know, like someone went through like Bodybuilder Ripped Monthly and drew like a gold leotard on the dudes, and then put some bubbles in. He's talking about, yeah, football ain't like it is in the future. And you're trying to give me that, Ryan, but you still won't read. You still won't read the Ultimates. That's why I like Mike Millar.
So
Mark
Jerry
Miller.
Springer comic episode. Yeah.
so if I read Ultimates, you'll read Booster Gold.
I'll try to read that whole thing. But seriously, when I looked at that, that's the kind of thing where if you're in the bathroom, right, and you're in for the long haul, and you've got this, a bottle of baby powder. It's got some, you know, like instructions and prohibitions about use on it. You could read that. You got the toothpaste, or I got Booster Gold. I would probably get a few pages into Booster Gold and pick up the baby powder.